What's going on, everybody? It's Cody. Welcome back to the channel. Here for the two-game semifinal WNBA slate on Friday. Getting this video out a little bit early with NFL tomorrow night, college football tomorrow night. Wanted to get this out a little bit early. Only battling MLB playoffs tonight. We got to talk about last night, the slate. There was some guys that got really close to taking it down. Both my lineups cashed with ease. I mentioned in the stream I was really high on the second game compared to the first, just because of the rotations. I had more pieces in the late games. I faded Asia Wilson and Brianna Stewart in both my lineups. This is my best lineup, finished tied for 68th. Dejanay Carrington, I played in both lineups. Didn't love her once we got news that Ty Harris was in, but just played her. I thought she was going to play a little bit more than she did. We're going to talk about that. She had a decent game. Started really rough and come on towards the end at 23%. Perfectly fine with that. Sabrina's just been on another level this run in the postseason. Playing the point a lot more, so her peripheral stats are up. 27% she nuked. Was the best play on the slate. Alyssa Thomas, 40%. She's just been uber consistent this postseason, playing the whole game, just stuffing the stat sheet, and she's scoring a lot more. So we're going to talk about her in a little bit as well. Alana Smith, 34% was popular, but lost out on minutes and still smashed. Alicia Clark, you absolutely had to have her to cash. The 30% that didn't play her just insta-lost. And then Courtney Williams also lost out on minutes, but still had a good game. Then my other lineup, it was just a few points behind that, but played Jackie Young. Mentioned her on stream. I was really high on her. She had a good game. DeWanna Bonner absolutely popped off, 23%. Then I played Fee here, 41 from her. And then really the same three as the other lineup, but cash both lineups. But that's not the big thing that we need to talk about. I did take down on Underdog. Super cool. Finally got one. The goat horns are coming. I held on. I don't know how I did. Like, the guys behind me that were on my tail, they had AT Bonner. One of them had Fee. One of them had McBride. One of them had Seawill. And it held on, so I took down over there on Underdog. Always love to see that. But let's look at the odds for these two games, and then we'll look through some rotations. Then we'll go team by team and break it down. Obviously, we don't have the Sun game, so I'm pulling it up. The Sun are 1.5 point favorites, over under 151.5. Then we have New York at Las Vegas. Las Vegas are 2.5 point favorites, over under 166. The Aces have not shown me anything to make me think they are 2.5 point favorites. I just don't believe it. They haven't beat the Liberty at all this season, whether it be in New York or in Las Vegas. It looks like a team that they just can't beat. So for me, Liberty plus 2.5 looks really good. Liberty money line looks really good. I think this series is just over personally, and I'm an Aces fan. I just think the Liberty is a brutal matchup for them. They can't match up well with them. So let's start with the Minnesota-Connecticut game. We did get a flip-flop on the games, so we'll get New York and Las Vegas for the showdown. But starting on the Minnesota side, the rotations that Cheryl Reeve ran for this game was literally laughable in a game that they absolutely had to have. Obviously, they won, so it doesn't really matter. But if you look at these rotations, like Bridget Carrollton got in massive foul trouble. She missed the whole second part of the second quarter because she picked up 3 fouls almost immediately. Second half, played a good bit, but sat for a large majority here. So the final 2 minutes, so sat for 6 minutes. So she probably plays a few minutes here. So she probably sees like 30 to 32 minutes. Xandra Ossini played well when she was out there, 16 minutes. We'll talk about her price point as one of the better value plays on the slate. Misha Hines-Allen, 14 minutes off the bench, and Natisha Heidemann, 12 minutes off the bench. McBride, 35 minutes. Fully expect that to continue for the rest of the postseason. Played the entire second half. As you can see, same did Fee. Fee played the whole game. Seawill, 27 minutes is pretty frustrating. Same with Alana Smith, 25 minutes. That's just, for her to play the first 12 minutes of the game and then just not come back in the second quarter is utterly irresponsible, and they deserve to lose the game because of it. So let's kick back over here and look at this Minnesota team. Alana Smith, 8,600. She stands out. If the minutes were to get ticked back up into like the 30-ish range, she looks really, really good at 8,600. Fee at 11.5K. I think she's a safe spend up. Bridget Carrollton, 8K. I'm pretty much out on. Her ceiling game was the first game here against Connecticut, 24 fantasy points. I don't see her getting any more than that. So at 8K, there's not a lot of wiggle room there for her to hit any kind of ceiling. Kayla McBride, 7,900 is fine. I would just rather play Courtney Williams, who's going to stuff the stat sheet a lot more. And if the minutes are there, she can post a huge game at 7,700. Misha Hines Allen at 6K and Natisha Heidemann at 5,500 are fine. Not a lot of value on this slate, so I think both of them are in play, but the main value play is going to be Xander Lassini here at 3,700. Not expecting her to play 17 minutes again. I'm expecting it to be like that 6 to 10 minute range, but think she's firmly in play at 3,700. Then on the Connecticut side, we'll look at the rotations. We did get news that Ty Harris was active and available to play. She did not start, only played the 6 minutes at the end of the first quarter and started in the second quarter. She did not touch the floor in the second half. Would expect her minutes to tick up a bit as we get further into the series and as she gets healthier. Assuming she didn't re-aggravate her injury. I didn't hear any word of that, so going from that, I'm not expecting her to be out. Burton played 21 minutes off the bench. Her minutes will tick down as Harris goes up. Dejanay, 31 minutes. Mabry, 38. 13 for Bree Jones. 40 for Alyssa Thomas. And 34 for DeWanna Bonner. As we go over here, Alyssa Thomas, she's just going to play the entire game. Arguably the safest spend up right now. She's just a walking 50 burger in this postseason. 48, 47, 49, 45. Super consistent. She's taken a bunch of shots, which really makes her extremely safe because we know the peripheral stats are going to be there in a player like Alyssa Thomas. She's going to play the entire game as well. Mabry is really safe. She's going to play practically the entire game as well. 9,300. She's one of their main shooters. And the series is going back to Connecticut where she shot the ball well of late. So don't mind her at 9,300. But I do prefer DeWanna Bonner for $500 less. She's had 2 really good games, 35 and 40 fantasy points, and she shot terribly. 4 of 17 and 5 of 15. If you get even 45 to 50% shooting from her, and she's going back home where maybe she'll shoot a little bit better, she has a 50 burger just waiting to be unleashed at some point this series. Dejanay Carrington, she's fine at 8,300, but she does lose a little bit of her ceiling with Ty Harris back. Everyone else, I'm pretty much out on. I just don't think Ty Harris is going to play enough to really hit value. I'm not playing Burton with Ty Harris back. Olivia Nelson-Dodota probably plays 10 minutes. Bree Jones' minutes have just evaporated, 18 and 14 in the last 2 games. Would expect her to play like 15-ish minutes. Maybe she plays more if she's playing well, but Alana Smith just absolutely runs circles around her, and they just have to pull her. She just can't keep up with Alana Smith, so showing me no inclination that she's going to be able to stay on the floor for more than 20 minutes. And at 7K, like, I don't even know if she can pay that price tag off if she plays like mid-20s minutes. So really rough to get to her there, but late game New York at the Aces. Let's kick over here. On the New York side, Sabrina, 37 minutes. Stewie, 37 minutes. John Quell, 33. Phoebich, 25. Laney, 25. Sloot, 20. 16 from Thornton and 4 from Kennedy Burke. Let's kick back over here on the top 2. The 2 spend ups for New York both look really, really good. Should play high 30s minutes. I look for them to come out looking for the elimination blow here to get a little bit of rest leading up to the championship series, because I think this Minnesota-Connecticut series is going 5. I think this series is over. I think New York's going to handle business. Stewie looks great at 11-2. Sabrina looks great at 10-2. I think Jonquel Jones is a great tournament play at 9,800. She's shown a big ceiling against the Aces this season. Benajelani 7,200. She's fine. Minutes haven't been the best in these two games against the Aces. I think 25 to 28 minutes is what I'm expecting. I just don't see the real ceiling in playing her. Like, she's a great defender. She's a better real life player than DFS, especially in the postseason when Stewie, Sabrina, and JJ are just going to dominate the usage. And then kind of feel the same way with Febich. I just don't see the ceiling in playing her. Like 4 shot attempts in the last 3 games each, and then 8 here where she shot 7 of 8. Like, this is the game that you have to get. Like, if you're playing her, like, that's where she's going to reach her ceiling. It's really, really tough to play her. She's just not asked to do a lot. Salute makes for a solid value play. Got a little uptick in minutes. Saw 20 last game. She's going to stuff the stat sheet a little bit. And if she scores well, she can post a decent game. Baby Sabali was a full-on DNP last game. Not good. I do not expect her to play in this game because of what we're going to talk about with the Aces here shortly. Kayla Thornton, 4,600, looks pretty solid. It's gross. Hold your nose when you play her, but this is when you get a good game from Kayla Thornton, is when she shoots 4 of 5 from the field. No peripheral stats, 1 block, and 9 points. Whatever you can do to get there. At 4,600, it's a little bit tougher than when she was in the 3K range, but she is in play. I think you can play Kennedy Burke. I don't love it, but there's not a lot of value out there. I would much rather play Zandalasini over Burke, but I get it if you want to play her. Then on the Aces side, we'll kick back over here and look at these rotations. Jackie Young, 31 minutes. She's been dealing with a little bit of an injury. It's been kind of kept under wraps, but I think that's what's keeping her minutes down a little bit where everyone else's are pretty high. Asia Wilson, she's probably going to play the entire game here. She's just going to have to. Like, Kia Stokes will not play. She's out. She got a concussion. Tiffany Hayes, 20 minutes. Colson, 1 little mini rotation for 5. Alicia Clark, all the way up to 34 minutes. Chelsea Gray, 36. Kelsey Plum, 26. Plum's was bad. She was really, really bad. Asia Wilson at the top, 11.7K. She's not been like her normal elite self here against New York. They're doubling her just almost exclusively as soon as she gets the ball. If you're ever going to bet on Asia Wilson, it's an elimination game. This is the time to play her if you're ever going to. I think she probably just plays the entire game because I'm not expecting Kia Stokes to play. I think the rotation is just going to be Asia Wilson playing the whole game, Kelsey Plum, low to mid-30s minutes, Jackie Young, low to mid-30s minutes, Chelsea Gray, mid-30s minutes, Tiffany Hayes, mid-20s minutes, and Alicia Clark, low to mid-30s minutes. Maybe you get a little 4-minute mini rotation for Colson and Gustafson just for slight breaks, but I'm expecting 6 players to play here. They have no other choice. They have to win or they're going home. So there's a lot to like here on this team. Asia, obviously, at the top. I can't play Kelsey Plum. She just is so hot and so cold. If she doesn't shoot the ball well, she's going to kill you, especially at 9K. She offers no peripheral upside whatsoever. Like, yeah, she can have a spot game here and there. 9, 9, 6, 3, 2, 7, 6, 4, 9. Like, there's just not enough peripheral upside for me to play Kelsey Plum, especially when she's $500 more expensive than Jackie Young, who's going to get the peripheral stats and who has started to be a little bit more aggressive of late. I would just much rather play Jackie over Plum. Then you got Chelsea Gray, 8,100. I think she's firmly in play, especially if she's going to play low to mid-30s minutes. She has a lot of peripheral upside, and she can score. I think Tiffany Hayes is in play at 6,900. She's probably going to have to play more with Kia Stokes out. Obviously, she's a spark plug off the bench. She can post a big, big game. You need to temper expectations with her. That's all I'll say. But like 26 fantasy points is well within reason for her, in my opinion. And then Alicia Clark, just plug and play. Don't overthink it. She's going to play low to mid-30s minutes. I'm not really expecting 22 fantasy points again. I would expect more like 15 to 18, but she's by far the best and safest value on the board. But that's going to do it for me, guys. Good luck to everybody. I'll be in the live stream 1 hour before lock on the games on Friday. If you have any questions, hop in the Discord, ask them in there. if you guys enjoy the content, leave a like on the channel. It really helps out the channel grow. We are closing in on 600 subscribers. Would be awesome to get there before the finals start. But good luck to everybody, and we'll see you for the next one.